Moments ago, Philadelphia won the toss. They defer. Green Bay's ball to start the night. Elliott will kick it away at 30-26 here tonight in Green Bay. This is Savion Williams. And the 33-yard return. And Jordan Love in this offense will set up shop. These are the numbers. Percentage would be a career high.
He's played really well. I think the only real negative when you watch him is what we saw last week. When the field, they've been able to hit some of those deep balls. But overall, he has had a really nice 2025.
Josh Jacobs will carry to start the night. First play for up front. We will show you the names and the faces with their two tackles, Walker and receivers. We highlight Christian Watson right there in the middle. It's his third game back, coming off that torn out of the backfield. Made a man miss and gets a first down for Green Bay. And here's the defense. They are really good. And most of them went to Georgia.
That's right.
That secondary really good with Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean.
They didn't waste any time getting Jalen Phillips in the ball game. He came right out with the starting group. He's been on the field the entire time.
Room out in front of him, able to get three. Jalen Phillips, who was with defensive deadline deal that they made with the Miami Dolphins. He's in the final year of his rookie back.
Yeah, and he played for defensive coordinator Vic Fangio a couple of years ago back in Miami, and he was off to a heck of a start.
Here's Jacobs. Pretty good run. Third down and short.
Offensive line combinations coming into this game, but this is the fifth game that they've had all five starters. He left last week's game with a neck stinger. He is in the lineup, and because they've gotten health previous 4 games.
Third down and 3. Jacobs. And this will be an early decision for Matt LaFleur, and the decision is quick. They say, there you go. There's your tush push.
they didn't waste any time. I thought initially there might be a little by Walker. Was looking to see if the official was going to catch it, but they didn't. Here he is. Yeah, you see the movement. They definitely.
Nick Sirianni is working that official near him on the sideline, but Jacobs again. Obvious what their design was coming into this game. Ride Josh Jacobs this time.
LaFleur and what he's about as well is the running game. A lot of similarities between these two teams as far as defensive coordinator for Philadelphia. He prefers to play a little coverage and try to get to the
picks have been runs. Love's in trouble. Down he goes, thrown to the ground by Jay. On second down, a loss of 14 on the sack.
Well, 4-man rush here, but for whatever reason, he gets off it pretty quickly. It was Emmanuel Wilson, the running back, and not this year, but it's not indicative of the pressure that they've been able to apply on the quarterback.
Third down and 20. It falls to the grass. And what looked to be a promising drive to start the night for the Packers. Quinyon Mitchell, as good as there is at corner in the league, is down.
He is as good as there is, Joe. You're exactly right. It's a big loss if he's not able to stay in this ball game. He's been the one constant.
Well, at the deadline, not only did Howie Roseman add Jalen Phillips, he also brought in Michael, who is inactive and not even with the team in Green Bay tonight. So they will continue over to the sideline. We'll take a break. The medical tent to get checked on further after being able to pop up, and after a 9-play, 12-yard drive because of that sack. It took over. And a fair catch by Xavier Gibson. And so here comes the... And here are the numbers. This was a team, to go back to what we talked about in the open, Troy, a little against the Giants.
Yeah, they looked a little bit more like the Eagles team that we witnessed all last year with Saquon Barkley and his breakout. It's a new wrinkle that Kevin Patullo has kind of gone with the last couple of games that they've had to try to simplify.
So right out of the gate, as Barkley picks his way over the left side and gets 3, there was some from scrimmage because the Green Bay Packers, as you look at the numbers with under center and the percentage, the first of the Packers, the organization that spearheaded the effort to try to ban the tush push. It ended up 2 votes. Blake first down.
Well, the one thing they wanted to avoid, they're going to have here on the third play of the game, and that is a 3rd and short. So, see if that'll be the key as they get closer to midfield and throughout this ball game trying to handle that. And it's a real challenge that they do so well.
Hurts is able to take it a little bit wider than normal and get a nice pick.
Some variations that they run off of this, and you see the early movement. I thought they were offsides with the officiating and how that's being handled.
Landon Dickerson, the left guard, left way early, but it was not.
Well, Green Bay, they got theirs. They were early when they went forward on the quarterback sneak with Jordan Love, and now ball's ever snapped.
Cam Jurgens is the normal center for the Eagles, missing his second straight game now with a knee. Back-to-back games at center.
And they bring in the extra lineman as they have so often here over the last 2 games, Fred Johnson.
McKinney on the tackle, but a carry of 15 yards for Saquon.
Well, Saquon Barkley, as we mentioned, he has crease like this. And look, he's all the way up on the safety before he's even touched. Great execution, even better.
In his visit with Lisa Salters before the game, she asked him about the groin injury he suffered at the end of the Giants. Here's a handoff to Bigsby, and Tank Bigsby, who was picked up from Jackson.
Howie Roseman and all that he did last week before the trade deadline. He's an impressive general manager. Eyes early on in the season that he made a trade for, and Saquon Barkley obviously is the bell cow, but Bigsby.
2nd down and 5. Hurts to the sidelines. No flags are thrown. It's 3rd down and 5.
Well, this is one of the things that Jeff Hafley, the defensive coordinator, talked about. So good that's what he wants to see more of, because the quarterbacks just simply cannot hold on to.
Parsons across from Lane Johnson. 3rd down and 5. Carl Brooks is indicating he thought Philadelphia moved.
Start. Neutral zone. Offense number 68. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
So that's Clay Martin. And it cost Philly 5. It's 3rd down and 10. Pressure from Parsons. Hurts out to his right. Time running. Well, that's just a beautiful play by Hurts and Shipley.
It is, because the Packers, they showed blitz. They talked about 4-man pass rush. They're able to get the pressure. Then on Jalen Hurts with pursuit from Micah Parsons for a place to go with the football.
Play of the drive, and across midfield they go as Barkley is brought down by Quay Walker.
That package, Joe, that they started a couple of games ago against the Minnesota Vikings, and he gets in the game about 20. They don't really lose too much. They present this personnel grouping that's heavy for run, but they've got some play.
And Barkley gets it. Got as much as he could. Sorrell is in of 3. 3rd down coming up.
When you look at this 3rd down defense for Green, they were really good last year in Hafley's first year as defensive coordinator. This year they've been as good or as well as create takeaways, but they have really owned this down this year.
Devontae Smith for 8.
So they're heavy zone defense, and when you play, there's Edgerrin Cooper. He's dropping back, trying to get underneath anything in the intermediate zone. Pretty easy completion and conversion.
The grab. First possession of the night, and the Eagles are 3 for 3 converting 3rd downs. And a gain of.
Hurts certainly knows he's back there, because he's been getting in the backfield pretty consistently here.
Last Sunday. 2nd and 3. Shipley.
This is a pretty nice drive for Philadelphia. You know, you talk about some of the inconsistencies that they've had this year in the first few weeks of the season with Kansas City and Los Angeles, Tampa Bay, Denver. But to be on
Parsons on the sideline. Barkley back in the game for the Eagles. Play action. Hurts has all day. As Hurts had plenty of time, but nowhere to go.
Yeah, a really good job. I like the secondary in general. I spoke with the football. They're trying to move the pocket. Didn't fool the Packers. They're locked up. And this is the one thing when you look at guys in green helmets really doing much to create separation to give them a place to go with the football.
Barkley over the right side. Not much. Got a couple. Devontae Wyatt was in on the tackle. We're already under a minute and a half to go in this opening quarter. Each side has had a possession. It's Patullo.
Pretty good matchup between Kevin Patullo and Jeff Hafley.
Hurts. John Nixon has got it for Green Bay. Tackle. Knees are up, arm is not down. That's a fumble.
It sure is. Cooper, he comes in, he punches right at it. These have not turned the ball over this year. They have the fewest turnovers in the league, but Cooper comes in and punches.
And with that, we'll take a break. That is fumble and turnover for Jalen Hurts. Just awesome. And today, by the way, part of our crew here on a handoff to Jacobs, and the ball ends up on the ground. There's the
Jacobs, he's not expecting to have the ball, and I don't think Jordan Love's trying to give him the ball. Carry out the fake, and it comes out of his hand.
319,
loss of 3 on that play. Was batted down, knocked down by Jalen Carter. And with 5 seconds left in quarter number
record as well. We talk about what Micah Parsons is capable of doing. Not able to get to the quarterback, realizes he's pulling up and goes up. 6th takeaway on the year, but they have had one now in each of the last 4 games. So it.
3rd down and 13. Love out to his right. Kim just short of 1st down yardage. And that is how the first quarter will come to a close. Had to go to break at the end of the first quarter. You see the backside of Jordan Love goes down where he is at Bay 45, and the Packers are going to go.
Yeah, well, analytics would tell you to go for it, and I get the world we're in now in the National Football scoring. But you're setting Philadelphia up awfully nice if you're not able to get this. See if they can keep them jumping off sides as both.
The left guard moved again early. That was Banks.
penalty. 4th down.
So they missed 2, but they get this one, and that's going to make the punt team come out.
Hear the Eagles, and you can't hear with the crowd noise, but playing here at home, you see Matt LaFleur makes that.
So that takes away the opportunity to go for Philadelphia back at his own 6. Line drive punt. Gibson fields it at the 4. By Gibson of 17 yards after a 55-yard punt.
Squat, press, arms. Then it's straight to conditioning. How I show up here is how I show up on game. Quick pose for the cameras, and it's to the lake where I keep my mental game strong. Got to keep my energy right.
This offense went 16 plays, 77 yards. A drive that took over 8.5 minutes, but no point. And it's a 1st down for Philadelphia with the ball sitting at their own 21. There to make the stop and a loss of 3.
Well, Jordan Mailata, the left tackle, number 60, basically makes the block. The tackle there on Saquon Barkley. That's the hole that he was trying to get.
A couple of slips here tonight by the Eagles. 2nd down and 13 as a result. And another Eagle losing his footing, a loss of 1.
Yeah, and come in here. They talk about how slick, especially a primetime game, a little moisture in the air. And
3rd down and 14. They're going to hand to Shipley. 4th down for Green Bay, brought him down after a gain of 7.
Yeah, he really has, Joe. He's been a good player for them. He's a safety by trade. That he's a physical player. He's really good in run support. He's good coming off the edge. Maybe you give up a little bit in coverage.
Is back waiting for the punt from Braden Mann. Can't get to the 25. And the Packers in a fast-paced first half. Still no score. BN2 coverage kicks off with Scott Van Peltz, and the Monday Night Countdown crew at 6 Eastern is scoreless. Third possession for the Packers with the ball at their own 22. Ends it back, and a strong run by the Pro Bowler from a year ago. Let's go down to Lord.
Blood on his left knuckles. Of course, now he's got it in the hand warmer. I don't blame him, but they were trying to clean it up a little bit after that.
So the left hand, and likely picked that up on that 3rd down run where he came up half a yard short. Jacobs again. And who is up off the practice squad after the injury to Tucker Kraft.
They also get a good block here by Malik. They haven't run as much 2 tight ends here in this game tonight compared to what they've done in other games. Of course, their best offensive player and was playing outstanding yards after catch. He's really good as a run blocker.
Down, Jacobs gets a couple. Tucker Kraft is as good as it gets with his catches, leading the team in receiving yards and receiving touchdowns. Tore his ACL last week. As Matt LaFleur told us, we'll miss his physical presence because it's not just the stats, it's what he does in the run game too.
Not a lot of them across the league.
Jacobs got away from Ojo. Get through in a blink, and that brings up 3rd down.
Yeah, he sure did, and he just was able to beat Aaron Banks right off the line. A lot of really good things this season, and this defense is only going to get better. We talk about some of the defense on the rise.
3rd down and 8. And again, it's 4th down, and it's going to be 4th down in about 2.5. Here it appears, or at the very least try to draw Philadelphia offside.
Well, this is where they were when they were going for it last time.
This is where Patrick Mahomes likes to say, this never works.
Number 10.
Yeah, I'd like to have seen Jordan Love try that. You know, there was a time as your job, and what analytics has done has just brought in another element for coaches, and yeah, us too. You know, we're always left up here kind of going, well,
we'll see. To the end zone. 59-yard punt. But out to those score. This possession will start at the 20 for the Eagles. We've watched Matt LaFleur back on the feet and awfully frustrated back there.
He was frustrated about the 3rd down play because Jordan Love had an opportunity. And we'll get to that after this play.
And is able to complete it to Goddard. Dangerous throw. And in the end, it's complete.
Blankenship right here at safety, and he's the one looking up Watson as he comes off the ball, but he runs that inside break. Brought up the 4th down when they elected to try to draw him off sides, but ultimately punted the football.
Hurts, good protection over the middle. It's broken up. Goddard the target, and Keyshawn Nixon said,
because he was beat. You're going to see him come from the right side of the screen, and Keyshawn Nixon is beat on the right football. Really good job. I thought initially Hurts was going to try to take a deep shot. He had a chance.
A fumble recovery in this game. That was good work. Now 3rd down and 2. Valentine flashing in front.
Well, this secondary, as I talked about a moment ago, that Jeff Half general cannot hold the ball, or at least cannot anticipate that he's going to be able to hold the ball. And on that possession,
Flea's background then was for 4 years the head coach at Boston College before coming back to the pros. His back-to-back 3 and outs, and this is a shank. It checks up after crossing midfield. It's a 30-yard punt. I don't know if somebody got a hand on it, but it came off real funny. It's bigger and better every year. Pass is broken up. Quinyon Mitchell, who was nicked up 12 yards. This is the 4th possession for Green Bay. First 3 times they had it, they had to punt.
Well, it's the game, and we got to make it a dirty game. And a lot like the way Carolina did in that game against the Packers. It'll be a tough night.
Emmanuel Wilson over the right side on that pitch. And 3rd down coming up.
It's play by Jalen Phillips. You're going to see what he's able to do. I mean, he just plays off the defender and then makes a big tackle.
No 3rd down conversions and pressure by Ojomo. 4th and 8.
You know, this is a defense in Philadelphia that has had pressure and gets in on Jordan Love, and this is an offense in the Packers that has been below 40% conversion. And as you mentioned, Joe, here in this first half, they've yet to convert.
Ojomo got Gibson up to get it. Gets a couple of 44-yard punts. 6.5 to go. And we continue on. Not much so far for Jordan Love and Jalen Hurts.
Well, if you're the Philadelphia Eagles, you know coming in that it doesn't give up big plays, and they're as good as the Packers are on getting off the field on 3rd downs, keeping the score down.
Barkley able to get a 1st down out to the 40. Flag is down, actually 2. The 6-time Pro Bowl right tackle is slow to get up.
Boy, he gets clipped right at the end by Evan Williams. He's right on the knee.
He's playing as well as he ever has.
Williams right there on that left knee.
There are fouls by both teams on the play. Illegal shift. Please offset. Replay 2nd down.
What a career he has had now in his 13th season, and he's been battling through injuries. He's been the ringleader for that offensive group for quite some time.
So Fred Johnson, who Troy has highlighted a couple,
will follow whether or not that alters what Kevin Patullo can do as far as that jumbo pack.
So back to 2nd down and 3. Gets a yard. And it'll be 3rd down and short with under 5.5 to go in the half. Jeff Hafley up here. 3rd down and 2. And Hurts. There's contact and flags. Evan, what the Packers are going to argue that pass wasn't catchable.
Yeah, let's take a look at it because there is contact before the ball arrives.
Automatic 1st down.
Immediately, Matt LaFleur started putting his hand over his head like that pass was too high.
I would have been able to make that catch, but it was in the vicinity. I don't know that the official really was left with much of a choice.
So that is a 1st down by penalty. And they shut this one down as Mailata called on Mailata.
You could hear Jalen Hurts at the line of scrimmage. He was checking the play as we see Lane Lineman at the line of scrimmage and check with as much crowd noise as there is here at this stadium.
Barkley had come back. And it will. That's a hold.
Holding. Offense number 64. 10-yard penalty.
There's Brett Toth, as you mentioned, Joe. He's making the start for Cam Jurgen. 33. That's where Barkley wanted to go with the football. And as soon as he bounces it, it's hard on those guys.
1st down and 25 as a result. The false. Bigsby. Rashawn Gary on the tackle.
Rashawn Gary, we haven't talked a whole lot about Micah Parsons and what he's capable of doing, but they didn't have that one dominant pass rusher, but they do now with Micah Parsons. But Rashawn Gary has been. Here's Micah Parsons at the bottom.
Hurts quick throw. Baldwin Williams of turning that into a 1st down. Instead, he gets 9.
Boy, that was close to being a really nice play. It was a good job compared to other teams around the league. He gets the ball out quick, and I mean, Evan Williams, he's been all over the field.
3rd down and 11. Parsons with a full head of steam. Eagles pick him up, and now it's up to Hurts. Fakes the toss, slides forward on that snap, and a gain of 4 brings up 4th down.
Yeah, it's I tell you, boy, just got to be patient, and it's not easy to do. Both of these quarterbacks, they like getting the ball and pressed with what they've done in this first half.
Man hits a line drive. 49-yard punt, and the indication is it's against. And now they're saying it's against Philadelphia. So initially they said against Green Bay. Now they're pointing Philadelphia's way. And
Holding Philadelphia number 7. Green Bay has elected to enforce the penalty at the.
Because instead of the ball being back at the 8, at least for now, they're going to make Philadelphia re-kick.
Here's a look at it. Keely Ringo
passed him to give him an advantage to get down to make a tackle earlier. Officials are looking for that these days.
So employed down there. 4th down and 17. And another effort by Man. Employed down there. 4th down and 17. And another effort by Man, and this one able to get up near the 32, maybe the 33, and what a difference after that penalty, after just a 45-yard punt.
Yeah, about a 25-yard difference after that penalty.
Good math by you. Neither one of them to a wide receiver. They are without Matthew Golden, their rookie. But this is the 3rd grave, and a nice gain on 1st down as Vaughn forces him out, a gain of 8. And let's go down to Laura.
Just trying to figure out what would get his quarterback comfortable in this game to get something going as they feel the pressure building. Also,
there's a 1st down carry by Jacobs, and again, all this with the backdrop of having lost Tucker Kraft last Sunday.
Yeah, that happens, though. It's a good defense, as we know, and it is about sometimes getting the quarterback in some type of group.
5, strong tackle by Nakobe.
Well, and Josh Jacobs, he's the other making things happen, and the Packers now changing up the tempo a little bit, picking things up.
They're able to sneak through and get out of bounds with another Packer 1st down inside.
Jordan Love, not something he does a whole lot of, but he's certainly capable, as we see here. It opens up. He doesn't like what he sees down the field for Green Bay.
Turn, but when he limped by me, he looked to be in a considerable amount of pain. And
crazy when he is out of the lineup for the Eagles compared to when he's in. He's such a big piece of what they do. And that'll stop the clock with a 1st down and 38 seconds left, a gain of 6.
Being able to secure the football, and what a player he is. You know, they picked up these 2 young receivers in the draft. Romeo Dobbs, he was part of that 2 wide receiver draft in 22.
Extra men on the rush. Love able to sidestep for a moment, and now down he goes. With the triceps injury, able to make that play, and we'll see where they put it down.
Jordan Love had some time. They're in man. There was really nowhere to go with the football, but he had time to get rid of the ball.
It will go down as a sack. And now slow to get off the field is back. And now the center and 2-time Pro Bowler Elton Jenkins is
well, and Jenkins, he made that move to center for that might be.
Sean Ryan will come off the bench. He made the first 4 starts of the year at right guard. We will give you a look from our Skycam, which is powered by Verizon. Remember that it was scheduled to start at the 8. Instead, it started at their own 32. And now here are 1 timeout. The ball, was it a fumble or a pass?
I think it might be a fumble.
Was in there, and let's take a look. He had Jacobs to his left, and yeah, that ball's out. Indicated who's on top of the ball.
Yeah, they're still down there.
And now each side has a fumble by their quarterback.
These defenses have come up big. when they've needed to make a play. They've both played well throughout this first half.
And here's the recovery with 50. Jalen Phillips able to get on top of it.
Got into field goal range, and then they came after Jordan Love, and they put pressure on him the second time here.
One on each side. We're inside field goal range for each team, and this is just my opinion I've ever witnessed.
Yeah, I would agree with that. These are a whole lot of fun, but this has been compelling. If you like defensive football, you got to appreciate what both of these groups have done.
To his left, under 20 seconds to go in the half, and Hurts is forced out of bounds. Remain after that gain of 4.
It's the pressure from Micah Parsons coming on. I thought that he was out of bounds. I was looking up.
Yeah, Troy, he touches him. He's trying to lay up a little. He doesn't hit him with force. I think it's a good no call.
Second down. Hurts, Smith, incomplete. Scoreless at halftime in the last 2 seasons. Not since 2023 when there were 2.
From Rashawn Gary, and he pushes him right back into Hurts in the pocket, because this is a heck of a route by Devontae Smith of the pressure from Gary.
A.J. Brown, 2 targets, 2 catches, which means that, well, now with 4 seconds left, they stop the clock.
Like, this is a matchup between these two teams. Of course, they're going to see each other again more than likely when you get into the postseason. It's a matter of where this...
On 4th down. And this is a scoreless half in Lambeau. 9 Browns and Ravens. Who can forget that game? The Eagles are about to get the ball as Brandon McManus will kick it away. Him down. If there's any chance he can get back in the ball game, you know he will. Hit a wall at the 30, and now we will figure out just how the Philadelphia. What do you expect to see from this Eagles offense?
Well, let me first say the fact that we saw Lane Johnson come back out is a really good rush, but I would expect the Eagles to kind of hit the reset button, go back, just try to establish the running game. That's their identity. That's who they, but neither team has really been able to get the ball down the field in the passing game. This pass rush run with Fred Johnson at right tackle and Lane Johnson on the sideline, and a gain of 7 to start the half. Right where they were through week 9, the points per game, obviously no points here tonight. Has been vocal this year about not being used enough. Blitz off the edge. Hurts keeps. Finds his target, Goddard, and he's got a bit, and then you get more of those one-on-one looks on the outside, and with their receivers, A.J. Brown, aggressive, these defensive backs again have been against these receivers. Maybe a quick hard to drive the football against either one of these defenses tonight.
The spinning grab is the tight end Goddard, who has been really the most active on the outside.
In zone coverage, he comes out of it and he just sits it down. A lot of guys come out of that route and then they cover themselves.
Katera too far.
Oh man, that's an opportunity there. If he's able to hit Cal the middle of the field, and this is one that just gets away from Jalen Hurts. Not many of those have been available tonight to try to get a big chunk.
Extra offensive lineman now is Matt Pryor. 2nd down and 10. Nice carry by Saquon Barkley.
Saquon Barkley is so impressive, and if you just look at his numbers, he's been having to answer these questions, rattling off 40-yard runs, 50-yard runs. He had a big one 2 weeks ago. That was his biggest of the year, and it's get more than what's there.
Packers have made 5 straight. Catch number.
A nice job here as he gets into the flat, and Jalen Hurts delivers a good football. So this is a nice drive, much like
each quarterback has fumbled tonight and lost the fumble. On 1st down, pressure. Hurts using the legs. Chase
Parsons, they leave these tackles one-on-one most of the time. Mailata, he's the one having to block Parsons. Parsons gets nobody then there to contain. Jalen Hurts, as he so often does, picks up good yardage.
Lane Johnson still on the 2nd down and 4. Bigsby right side. He's really become a good middle linebacker in the NFL.
Boy, he sure has. You're going to watch him, and this is where he has really gotten good. Johnson, who's trying to get up, he's trying to get up to make that block. It was his responsibility, but Quay Walker, he just hits it so fast.
The night for Quay Walker, 2 for a loss on the play, and that was a loss of 3. Play clock was at 0s.
Any false starts. We had delay a game on the offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Either way, this was going to cost Philadelphia 5, either with a false start or with a delay of game, and it was clearly that.
And Jalen Hurts or Nick Sirianni, do you burn a timeout with the likelihood of not picking up that first timeout?
3rd down and 12, and they run it with Shipley over the right side. It's 4th down. The Philadelphia Eagles down here, a gain of 5, and now the field goal unit and Jake Elliott.
And long after taking that penalty, and just as you mentioned, Joe, just playing it close to the vest.
7 for 9 on the year, and he is first. Nick Sirianni's been frustrated tonight. Everybody else, Jalen Hurts, keeping his crew positive on the sideline, but a frustrating night for each other. And now we'll see the Packers with the ball for the first time in the second half. See who's designing success. It's brought to you by Cole.
Pressures with 4-man rush, and they come back with a 5-man rush. And it's been a good group. And as I mentioned, this is into this game. They didn't have the sacks, but it was not indicative of really the pressure.
Great action to start this drive, and Love with flags on the play finally hits. Play will stand. It's a hold against Philadelphia. 20-yard completion to Christian Watson.
Penalties decline. It's 1st down.
You know, we showed those highlights from the first half. Jalen Phillips had that fumble recovery.
Yeah, no, they're going to get their money's worth when they make that trade, and they have, and he's done a nice job. There's that scissors route. Christian Watson comes in behind it for a nice pickup.
Brought down by Dean, but a nice carry as he is able to get 4.
Out for the rest of this game with an ankle injury. We see Sean Ryan in there now. We had seen Jenkins carted off the field.
He's a 2-time Pro Bowler. Ryan has started at right guard this year, now in at center. Was able to break that tackle. Nakobe Dean shot through there first, and a gain of 3. 3rd down coming up tonight. 0 for 5.
Yeah, it has been a struggle for sure. When you look at this, they have struggled on this down coming into this game, but the Packers just have not been able to sustain.
He was iffy during the week. He's missed the last couple of games with a bad calf, but he's good for 4 and a 1st down.
In the lineup after missing the last couple of games, and as he said, he's the enforcer. You know, he's a guy who now in his
there without Matthew Golden. Their 1st-round pick from Texas out with a bad shoulder. He injured it last week. Watch out. All game, and now a tackle for a loss of 4.
Yeah, Rasheed Walker, the left tackle, he thinks he's going to come wide. Just has nowhere to go.
Gets some of that yardage back, all of it +1, got 5. Zach Bond on the tackle, but now 3rd
ball. He runs a nice route. He's really good at it, and he goes to the middle, and there's nobody in the middle of the field who's the middle linebacker, but you just lay it over him. You've got a lot of area to put the football, but you know, Jordan just has knocked him into a groove.
On 3rd down, Dobbs can't make the diving catch. 4th down, and now the decision by Matt LaFleur. It's 4th down and 9. It would be a 59-yard.
There was nowhere really to put that football. This was as good a throw as you can make to give your guy an opportunity. Yep.
They're going for it on 4th down and 9.
Wow. I don't know about this.
Love protected. Incomplete. It was there. And the pass is incomplete into a cornerback, and Reed Blankenship comes up. But that ball off the shoulder pad, furious. Still down 3. And the converted wide receiver to corner. Now 10-yard field goal try would have either been a punt or go for it. He went for it. The play was there. Saquon Barkley at second down for the Eagles, up 3.
Yeah, you mentioned Bo Melton. He's gotten more playing time tonight offense. Originally at wide receiver, and Matt LaFleur told us coming into this game that he was going to get a
cold and windy night, and Matt LaFleur not willing to try the 59-yarder. And a loss of 6 on the play. As Barkley is dropped.
He stunts and comes underneath it, and so we've seen that from both sides. You know, offensive linemen are wanting to see. He got injured, missed some time, wanted him to get back to the way he was playing before the injury. Makes a big play.
Long way to go. When he won't get there, it's 4th down. Javon Bullard made that stay. They get a 3-and-out from Philly.
Yeah, Green Bay playing lights out, and you know, offensively for the Eagles, it boom or bust. Offensively, they have had a lot of 3-and-outs, and then they have a lot of
the highest percentage of 3-and-outs this season. Hard to believe with the kind of firepower they have. Here is a 58-yarder out to the 20 for Jordan Love to improve this roster as Jacobs takes it over the left side and gets 11. It's impressive from Nick Sirianni. Has had this is such a well-run organization.
It's pretty amazing when Jeff Lurie bought get to a Super Bowl, but go to multiple Super Bowls, and they've certainly done that. It hasn't been impressive. I'm thoroughly impressed. Seems like every year around the trade deadline, he makes a move that just makes his team.
Melton, who just had that drop on 4th down. A flag is down. It's against
for 33. Penalties decline. It's 1st down.
I said Melton. That was Wicks who made a catch on that last.
Against Quinyon Mitchell, and that's as tough as it gets. As he comes out, here's the grab, but he just plays through it and makes a nice play on the football.
Here's Jacobs over the right side. One of those.
Yeah, he really has, and he gives them a little something. You know, when you think about the Philadelphia Eagles, when they've been at their best, they line up tonight in such a big ball game. You know, he kind of, as he mentioned, he won the lottery this week in a difference.
Here we go. 319 or something.
Second down, to made that big play the last time the Packers had the football. He's got a sack tonight, Hunt. 4-yard loss, and instead of trying a 59-yarder, they went for it and didn't get it. Under 10 seconds to go, and this game will be decided in the 4th quarter. Four-man rush. Down.
Well, that's a heck of a catch by Wicks. He comes out of that break, and you know, he's challenged at the top of the.
You and me both.
Yeah, I thought when he caught it, he was short.
Yeah, Troy, what they're going to look at.
So it is a 1st down and a 3rd down conversion for Green Bay. Here's another look. Here's Jacobs. Good run on 1st down.
Yeah, he had a pretty deep laceration, as you see right there, on his upper right arm. They were able to get some of that bleeding stop.
We'll keep an eye on that on 2nd down and 6. Jacobs has done
For play action.
They do it. Flag on the play. Wide open. What? A flag is down on the far side of the field. It looked like Philadelphia came across.
Hey, Joe, I didn't see any movement by Green Bay. I would assume this is defensive offside.
On the offense. Replay 2nd down.
So Darian Kennard reported, and then was covered up, and so that.
Yeah, right here, he's got to get off the line of scrimmage, and so I mean they have the right personnel from the secondary of the Philadelphia Eagles that opens it up, but just couldn't get a line properly.
Watson is eliminated because of the illegal formation call.
319 or something.
And Dobbs the target, no flags.
Yeah, you hear this crowd. They're wanting a flag, but I mean, nailed it when they drafted him. Here he is at the bottom. You're going to see the coverage. I mean, he's just stuck right on him.
I don't think there is. He has a hand on the hip, but he doesn't turn him. I don't see any significant hindrance. I think that's a good job.
Play clock was at zeros with Phillips right on him. And now it's 4th down, and we'll see what Matt LaFleur. That was a big penalty called in that illegal formation.
Yeah, he had a chance for Dobbs here again on the dig route, but what happens, they're trying to run this crossing route. Jacobs in the backfield. You're going to see in the middle there, they run into each other, and that's where Jordan, just poor execution by the receivers.
Whelan hits it, and this will back near the goal line. And now the officials will get together and make sure Green Bay kept that ball. Evan Williams inside the 1. Melton.
So Troy, that left foot was on the line. The right
player never reestablished in the field of play before touching the ball. It'll be a touchback at the
goal line. And inches away from the ball being inside the 1. Instead, game 2 catches, 13 yards tonight.
Well, it's been tough sledding for all these receivers teams have done.
Here is Barkley.
There you go.
Yeah, Joe, well, A.J. Brown said he spent the bye week hanging out with his family, not worrying about trade rumors. Okay, but no denying at times he seemed frustrated with the Eagles' offense this season. But he maintained when asked again this week.
There is a toss to Barkley over the right side. Nothing as he's forced out by Edgerrin Cooper. When we took here, and that's basically all Jalen really cares about. And I wish we had time to go into the conversation the two of you had to win. I believe Jalen Hurts when he says, I don't care what the stats are. I just want W's. And they lead.
He leaves this game with a 3-point win. He's going to be the happiest guy in that locker room.
3rd down, and Barkley still rolling into Green Bay territory and down near the 36. In the open field.
Well, watch Barkley as he comes out. He starts clapping. He wants the ball. He knows nobody's out there, and he's got some space. And see, if in these types of games you hang in there long enough and you just hang in there, eventually something is going to break. And
he gets 41 there, the longest play of the game on either side. Shoulder pump fake, end zone. Took it away from Evan Williams.
In the middle, right on Jalen Hurts, and so he's not able to really get into this as much as he would like, but he had one-on-one. First big play of the night.
They get 41 from Saquon Barkley on the catch and run. Touchdown of the year. Little shoulder fake, the pump fake. Downfield it went. Number 6 up.
Here's a look at that touchdown, and a really nice job by Devontae Smith. He gets up the field. Now this is a little bit unfair. He's he's able to go up, and as he so often does, make these contested catches. And it's the 10-point lead based on the way their defense has been playing is huge.
Here's Savion Williams. Davis makes the stop after a gain of 3. Let's go to Laura.
Kraft, Matthew Golden, now Romeo Doubs in the locker room right now.
So the ranks are getting thin on the out of 1st down by Melton. Had that drop on 4th down, but makes this grab for 11.
You know, they're down 2 possessions, and they got to get rolling.
Todd Campbell, the rookie from Alabama, 1st-round pick, made the stop after a gain of 6.
You know, the receiving core, he's one of those guys that can create separation, get open, and it allows Vic Fangio to add a little extra help.
And the rookie is spun down by Adoree Jackson with a gain of just 2.
Boy, Adoree Jackson into a big play, a lot like what we saw from Saquon Barkley.
Jacobs right up the middle. And remember, they're playing without Elton Jenkins, their two-time Pro Bowl center.
Coverage, they're going to protect the deep ball, and they're going to make Jordan Love be patient with the ball, and there's going to be opportunity. See these safeties back deep here.
It was Emmanuel Wilson. A gain of 2.
This is where you really miss a guy like Tucker Kraft, Joe, because of the field and his ability to do that, and then, of course, yards after the catch.
2nd and 8. Time Green Bay has crossed midfield. 4th time they've done it in a row, and yet they're still shut out.
Well, and defensively, you give up 13 points and 16 points, and you lose those games. That's not supposed to happen. And
Brandon Graham is back. Lured him out of retirement. He's on the field. That's Wicks, who's been busy in this second half, and a little bit of traction for this Packer offense.
They're still playing the coverage, but they're soft on the outside. Kind of this shell look that gives Wicks in the middle.
And there's nowhere to go. Got half a yard. Well played by this Eagles defense, and Brandon Graham was the
here in his 16th year, and he wasn't fooled at all. They're expecting him to crash and come down. Instead, he comes up.
207th game. Vaughn coming on a blitz, backpedaling, and the throw out of the reach, but a flag.
Pass interference. Defense number 30.
Restricting Musgrave, who was going up for the throw.
That's a good call. They got the look. A heck of a player. He's done a lot of good things. Coverage is one of the things that he really excels at, but, had to...
21-yard penalty. First time Green Bay's been inside the red zone. Here's Jake. Makes the stop. And this was a problem for Green Bay in their loss to Carolina. They were 1 for 5, trailing by 10.
Yeah, it's big possession right here. This impacts a lot, whether or not they're able to get it.
And fights his way for the touchdown. Wow.
It's just great, tough running by Josh Jacobs.
And he's...
Well, they needed it, too.
What an answer by Green Bay after... Brandon, his 3rd game back, has been bothered by a strained game. With 5:49 to go. With Sam Darnold, the way he's slinging it around. It's been impressive, and here is a return by Boya. Saquon Barkley, 41 yards after that pass interference call against Jihad Campbell on the attempted throw to Musgrave, and then Jacob. Lane Johnson is back for Philadelphia. Back in at right tackle. Out there, an extra offensive lineman, and shooting up from the secondary, Evan Williams.
It didn't fool Evan Williams. I mean, he's anticipating run. You're going to see he's got depth at the snap, and here he comes. A lot of times he'll make that first guy miss. The great ones usually do, but that is tough to do, what Evan Williams just did.
It's his 2nd tackle for a loss in the game. Third down and 12.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if Keyshawn Nixon got a hand on the ball or not, but that's a great play. Yeah, just got out a little bit quick, and as you mentioned, Goddard just wasn't quite ready. A big 3rd down here. What's Kevin Patullo going to dial up to give him a chance?
Up the middle. He's picked up. Sideline shot, Devontae Smith. Big first down.
Well, you see Devontae Smith, he's able to get Nixon turned. Nixon's wanting to jump on it, but the threat of him to come out of the route, but he sold it just enough as though he might go vertical. All the difference in the world.
16 yards on 3rd and 12. Mark that one down. Here's Barkley with under 5 to go.
Well, Philadelphia has been really good off this clock.
All 3 timeouts left on each side. 2nd and 7.
Yeah, Matt LaFleur won.
first down yardage. He got 5. Under 4 to go, third down. Yeah, that's Parsons.
Yeah, they just.
Yeah, I agree, guys. He intentionally sticks his leg out, makes contact with the runner. That's a trip. Should have been called.
The Eagles on 3rd and 2 will use a timeout.
You see Nick Sirianni.
Well, it's 3rd down and 2. We know what the Eagles do on short yardage plays. They've converted on 76%. We saw when it happened that one of the Eagles offensive lineman, Dickerson, left early.
Well, big question is,
back's in there. They hand it to the up back. That's Barkley, and he's got it. And the clock continues to run. And you saw Matt LaFleur look up at the scoreboard thinking about.
And you can only imagine the pain that he's in. Just fighting his way through it, trying to do what he can to help this.
Back out he comes. And he's joined on that offensive line by Fred Johnson. Extra's Barkley. Diving's forward, and that'll be the first time out. 2:33 left. 2nd down for the Eagles, leading by 3. When we thanking military members on his way off the field. 2nd and 8. That's Micah.
Good play by Micah Parsons. If he's not able to keep Hurts from getting outside the pocket, he's got a little room to run, or he certainly puts the speed that he has. You know, Hurts has the angle. He would outrun most people, but not Micah. That's running, but you know, Hurts wasn't able to because of the pursuit of Micah Parsons. As good as this defense has been, opportunity.
Play clock in 1. Extra men on the rush. That ball may have been tipped. And it's 4th and 8. And another back-to-back play. Kind of wobbling out to the sideline.
I think, you know, Valentine was playing it so aggressively. I don't think
maybe to draw Green Bay offside.
I cannot imagine. Cannot imagine they're going to.
And now timeout.
Offense number 1. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Well, they didn't game penalty. And the punt team comes on for Nick Sirianni.
Well, Jeff Hafley and this defense, they this offense with plenty of time for Jordan Love to see what he can do.
With those incompletions, still 2 timeouts. With his Packers down by 3. Keyshawn Nixon waiting for the punt from Braden Mann. And a fair catch by Nixon at the 10.
You got to make the play. And now it doesn't matter how tough it's been and how inept overall this offense has been putting together a drive. You know, the first thing he's got in mind is trying to get into field goal range, but they're certainly hoping for a lot.
Good. Green Bay came into this game off a loss to the as many back-to-back home games just twice since 2018. And they trail by 3 here with 2:50.
And they've still got the 2-minute warning, but get something going and get a little momentum and rhythm to where you can get back on the line.
Pass incomplete for Melton. And with pressure on Jordan Love coming around the edge.
He's going to come underneath. They run a stunt, and he comes all the way from the outside. Nobody really able to pick him up. There was nobody there on Melton.
Again, 3rd down and 10. They fake the handoff. Love floats it. He's got Watson.
Interesting play action. Now nobody's anticipating they're going to run the football there.
Extra man on the rush. Oh, that was a perfect play as Jacobs.
What Josh Jacobs was doing, he didn't turn the right way. You can see as he comes through the line, and you would just go to the flat. I'm not sure exactly what he was thinking. He's done this so many times, but if he just run
out in front of him and Zach Bond right behind him. 2nd down and 10. Vic is bringing. Remember, this Green Bay offense does not have Tucker Kraft, Matthew Golden, or thin on the outside trying to get it downfield.
They had an opportunity as well. You got Wicks who's coming across. They hit this, could have been a little bit of an easier throw to make a catch. It's still one that he had a chance to.
Underneath, Musgrave is going to be a yard short of the first down. Ball was out. Jalen Phillips. If it's against Green Bay, it's Philly's ball.
Illegal formation on the field was a fumble recovered by Philadelphia. It's first down.
Eagles ball has been in the middle of it all night for Philadelphia.
Pretty amazing how quickly the Eagles, the get off at the snap.
Blankenship may have knocked it out. Eagles ball up 3.
What he wants to do on fourth down, but got to make the stop first.
A good with a minute 21 to go, a 2-yard pickup as we 3rd down and 10, able to extend the play, use his legs. Ames coming off the edge, turn that into a positive play. And then the 36-yarder to Devontae Smith.
Yeah, it was a defensive battle throughout this game, and just a couple of plays. The line of scrimmage had no opportunity at all to pick that up.
Here is Barkley. He cuts upfield. He got it
properly anyway. So, can they make one more stop here on?
Jalen Phillips has been involved, to say the least. Right in there for the Eagles. Game number 207 as a Philadelphia Eagle, unretired. And he was
doing that. And, I think he's just one of those guys. He obviously has been with the organ who's so highly regarded and respected within the locker room. It's good to see him back and make a few plays.
Barkley got a yard. That's it. And now the clock, what Nick Sirianni wants to do.
You let this thing run down first.
Do you punt? Can't kick the field goal. You go for it. If you got plenty of time to... Philadelphia coming off their bye. They have a home game on Sunday night against the Lions coming up. Then they're at the game against the Raiders. They had their bye week last week, and they had a good rest, and these Green Bay Packers lost. And you look at the NFC East with the injuries that have hit Washington. Division is there for the taking, and the offense stays out there on 4th and 6.
Well, if he's just going to, I don't know what he's going to do. This is for it here on 4th down.
And they are. Hurts airs it out. A.J. Brown, because they went for it. There's 27 seconds left, but there's life for Green Bay. They've got good field position.
No, I don't know what the thinking was here. You stopped the clock. Could have ran it down, and
is tied for the longest field goal by a Packer in Lambeau Field history. He hit from 56. His career long is 61. The former Denver Bronco.
Well, 25 yards.
Pressure on Love, who airs it out for Watson. Incomplete, broken up, and well.
Oh man, this is one Jordan Love wants back. He's got Christian Watson, and he's just got to throw it all the way to the end. Christian Watson, with his speed, is able to run and go get it. He can go adjust, but let him up the field immediately.
Now 20 seconds remain, no timeouts. Melton. Game clock under 10 seconds.
Well, they get to at least attempt it. What is it, 65, 64 yards?
Microphones down on the field. They're going to place the ball after the catch by Melton at the 46. It would be the longest field goal ever made at Lambeau on a cold, windy night by Philadelphia to add a little bit more pressure.
That's pretty amazing. I'm not sure.
Just had a free kick, and it was short.
Timeout. Philadelphia. 30 seconds.
After the timeout, I think that's what Nick Sirianni's saying. Like, why did they get a chance to snap it?
Usually after he stops the play, will go in to prevent that type of kick from happening. But he took advantage of the opportunity. It's legal.
The ball game.
Well, now you bring Jordan Love back on the field.
Well, the sideline and take a little bit off the field goal try, or are we just in Hail Mary time?
Well, they're soft,
and it's thrown out of bounds. 2 seconds remain, and will come on. And Brandon McManus, who's been dealing with that strained right quad, we talked to him. He said that this would be the longest field goal made in Lambeau Field history. For McManus, here we go. Snap was low, and the kick no chance. And Nick Sirianni able to breathe a sigh of relief as the two head coaches with a 3-point win.
Yeah, I'm not sure either coach feels real good about this. Sirianni